Toastmaster Arthur Metcalf. Where there is a will, there is a license to redemption. Where there is a will, there is a license to redemption. Toastmaster Arthur Metcalf.
I am a survivor. In 2015, I went through one of the most nerve-wracking experiences one can go through. The stress I had to overcome would not have been possible without the support of my loved ones. I'm talking about an experience I'm sure most of you over here have gone through as well. It is none other than the RTA driving test. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and my fellow drivers.
Good afternoon.
How many of you have gone through this eventful experience? All of you truly understand my pain. Ever since I was a little kid, I had a keen interest in learning to drive. I don't know what it is about men. They love driving and they love being in control. Probably because it is the only time they can be in control. And I don't know why people say that women are bad drivers. I mean, they are the best at driving people crazy, right? So the first thing I did was I went and registered my name. And I was in for a shock. This is what they told me. There'll be a minimum of 40 classes, an 8-hour theory session, a theory test, and then my practical classes, 2 hours each day, 3 days a week, a minimum of 4 weeks. Then parking of 4 different categories, a highway test, a night class, and then an internal assessment. And only after all this will I be finally able to go and showcase my skills in front of that RTA exam. The price of getting a license was just too high. And I don't mean the literal cost, which itself is a massive amount. Since I'm a student over here, I did get a discount. At least one good thing coming out of that engineering degree. The first thing I did after I registered was started preparing for the theory exam. They were known to be very simple, and I thought I will ace it. Do you ever get this feeling when something is too easy? You just have this voice at the back of your head saying, "You better not fail this, or everyone is going to make fun of you for the rest of your life." I started taking those practice tests on the RTA app just to be sure. I did those tests more than 20 times, and I gave the phone to my dad once so that he could take the test. He had been taking shots at me for getting insecure about some ordinary exam. "These tests are meaningless. A real driver will know all the rules," he said. He had been in the UAE for more than 25 years, so I figured he knew what he was saying. Fun fact, he took the test and he failed. After that, he stopped lecturing me on this topic. I finished my theory exam quite easily and started my practical learning. The instructor which I got was a bit moody, but I was just so happy to be finally sitting in that driver's seat, holding that steering wheel and learning how to drive. I started my learning. I moved on to the parking. I finished my parking test. I moved on to the highway class and the night class. And I finished my internal assessment as well. Finally, the big day arrived. I was all pumped up like a boxer before the match. "Who's the boss? You're the boss," I told myself as I marched to that exam center. I was a bit relaxed. Sitting in that waiting room, I was casually singing to myself. The examiner walked up and called 3 of us. I was the first to drive. I took the car out smoothly. When I reached the road, where this man in front of us was driving much slower than the usual rate. The examiner held my steering wheel. And I froze. Examiner interfering with your exam. An immediate fail. But he had actually done this so that I could overtake the man in front. So I didn't lose hope. And I continued driving. But during one of my lane changes, he held the wheel again. My heart sank. Needless to say, I had failed. A walk of shame as I went back home. Extremely disappointed. My parents, on the other hand, were quite supportive. "It is okay, Adarsh. You will pass next time, don't worry," said my dad. The next time, I was really nervous, sitting in that waiting room. The examiner this time was a different person, who seemed a little bit more better. Before we began, this is what he told us. "No worry. You do good lane change, you drive well, inshallah pass." And that is exactly what happened. I cannot tell you in words how happy I was when I got that paper which says pass against your name. Praise the Lord, as I had never had to go back to that God-forsaken place ever again. The party had finally begun. What an experience. After that, I realized that if I can face all my fears and face that RTA examiner, I can face anything in my life. Today, I stand before all of you, a proud RTA certified driver. And for those of you who want a treat, I'm sorry, my friends. I spent all my money in getting this beauty right here.